Hey, what's up guys, it's Scavs here bringing you guys another video on Call of Duty Ghosts today. Haven't uploaded anything and it feels like forever. It seems that I've actually uploaded anything. I think it's been at least maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week, 3 weeks, something like that. Really kept up with it. I've had a lot going on recently, so I haven't actually had the time to upload. So I do apologize about that. Also, if you're paying attention to the sound of the video, the sound kind of messed up in this video, but it was really good gameplay and I didn't want to delete it because of the sound. Um, I actually recorded a video earlier on Black Ops 2 where I went through and got 2 swarms on free-for-all, and of course it fucked up, and I accidentally ended up deleting the recording, and so I didn't feel like dealing with it again. This is a good gameplay, and I didn't feel like, you know, getting rid of something like that. So just want to talk about a couple of things, where I've been, why I haven't been uploading and stuff like that. As most of you do know, I do have a kid, and I had another kid on the way. My wife actually ended up having our son 3 weeks ago. If you follow me on Xbox or friends with me or any of that, I let everybody know as far as when I was going to the hospital and with her and when she was going to be having our son. So everything went good with him. The labor was kind of a tragic kind of deal. Yeah, I didn't lose my wife or anything like that, but it was just really, it was really crazy, the things that happened. But my wife is okay. Our son is okay. He's a big, healthy boy, so we are good with that. But man, my luck has just been, it's been complete shit lately. Not just on Call of Duty in general, which I really haven't had the time to play much, which is the reason why I haven't been bringing much videos. Too much. Well, obviously I haven't brought any videos in the past 2 weeks, but my luck has just been shit. A couple months ago, I used to work at a company called Townsend before I actually started working at my job that I'm at now, Comcast. And Townsend is a tree arboring company. It's a company that does the they clean the right-of-ways, like off the side of the road. So right-of-way is basically like where your telephone poles are, as far as, you know, stuff like that. And so they clean the trees off of the actual telephone poles. So if you've got like limbs and trees overhanging them, Townsend comes through and they cut them off. It's a big company. It's pretty. I think it's actually stretches out all across the nation as far as the United States goes. So it is a huge company. I used to work for them, and it was alright. I mean, I didn't really enjoy it that much. It's, you kind of work your ass off for not good enough pay compared to what I'm making now. So anyways, I used to, when I worked with them, I was a groundsman. I just started out not too long before this incident actually happened. I'd been there maybe 3 or 4 months, and I actually had a we were cutting down a tree. It was a huge pine tree, and I think we actually had to do 3 or 4 of them that day, as far as that actual area goes. So we were cutting down the actual pine trees themselves and taking them and obviously chipping them through the wood chipper, and then sending them into the back of the truck and dumping the chips wherever, you know, wherever we could find to dump them at. And so as I'm putting in one of the logs, it wasn't too big. It was probably about the size of a fire hydrant or something like, or not a fire hydrant, but a fire extinguisher. It was probably about that size, if you could get that kind of picture in your head. Wow, check out that lag there. um, but I actually had pushed the log into the wood chipper, and for some reason it retracted it, and it came back and actually hit me in the face. And luckily it wasn't like directly onto my face and anything like that. It actually hit me in the side, which could have been bad, you know, seeing as my temple is there and stuff like that. It actually could have killed me, especially the force that it hit me with. But I guess you could say luckily enough, which wasn't too lucky, but I guess it's better than what the outcome could have been. I got hit in the mouth, I guess like the bottom portion around the edge of the tree, or the stump, I guess you could say. And it ended up breaking part of my back tooth, which is your 18th tooth. So I'm not sure if any of you are dentists, which I'm sure probably none of you are, but if you are, you know what I'm talking about. It's basically the, I think they call it a molar, the big teeth in the back of your mouth. And it actually cracked it inside of my mouth and broke off a chunk of it. And it's been pretty uncomfortable. And of course, you know, as far as insurance goes, because insurance is so expensive, up until I got my job at Comcast, I wasn't able to afford the dental bill to actually go and have something done about it. And so it ended up screwing me. You know, I got to the point where I just almost could not eat anything without something getting into it and just killing. It hurt so bad. So I ended up going to the dentist, I believe it was last Friday, if I am correct. I had to stay out of work, which sucked, missed some time, but I ended up going to the dentist office, and I went through to go get an extraction done, because basically there was nothing that they could do for it. That tooth was pretty much history. And so an extraction is basically where they pull the tooth out of your mouth. Obviously, of course, they numb you up, but we went through the whole process of numbing me up. They stuck the needle in my jaw, and the needle didn't actually hurt that bad. It's, I guess, the after effects of it hurts. This really makes you sore. But we went through the whole process of getting the extraction done, and they actually didn't numb me that well. I got tired of sitting there waiting, and me and my wife were just, I think honestly she was kind of tired of sitting there waiting too, because it was taking so long. We'd been there at that time for probably at least a good hour or so. And so they ended up pulling my tooth without my gum in my mouth actually being extremely numb. So I could feel, you know, the tooth actually being moved and lodged out of my mouth. And there was really not shit that I could do about it. So she ended up grabbing at the bottom of the tooth, and because the tooth, the way that it was already, the situation that it was already in, I ended up actually having the tooth break off inside of my mouth at the gum. And so she ended up breaking into my mouth, which I felt. It was a loud crunch. It hurt horribly bad. And she ended up doing, getting the tool, I guess, again, and sticking it at the gum and yanking again. And when she did, it kind of turned it sideways in my mouth. So it opened that hole that's supposed to be there and made it a lot bigger. And I cannot express to you how bad that actually hurt. But my luck is pretty shitty now, because after having this done, here I am. I couldn't get the bleeding to stop, and it's supposed to form kind of like a blood clot over it. And the blood clot never formed. I waited for like 36 hours and went through the process of trying to get it to form. They had told me to stick like a tea bag in my mouth, like a black tea bag, and supposedly that would stop the bleeding. And by the way, that's not my Elgato doing, that's the game. The game lagged up again right there. But they told me to stick the black tea bag in my mouth, and that would supposedly, you know, suppress the bleeding and stuff like that and help with that. But it actually didn't. Ended up, it's pretty much now I've got a dry socket, so that's a hell of a lot worse than what it was having the tooth. But I hope you guys understand where I've been and understand why I haven't had the time to upload. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Pop that pussy.